Hey guys, in our last video we learned how we can have custom cells in our list view. And in this video I'm going to talk about how you can add, edit and remove these custom cells from the list view. So I've added this add button on top of my screen here on the toolbar, and I've given myself a head start. I've added this add or edit employee page here, and I have two controls here. One is taking the employee name and other is taking the designation. And I have a button here which is a save button, and I have also bound my page to add or edit employee view model here, which is empty right now. Sweet. So let's just go ahead and create, when I click on this add button, it should take me to this add or edit employee page. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say click event new event, and I'm going to say so when I click on this, it should go to the page. The way navigation works is if you want to go to a page, it doesn't replace the page which is there on at the root level. What it does, it pushes the screen on top of each other. And if you want to come back to the main screen, what you have to do is you have to pop. You have to say pop async in order to come back to the root page. So to go to a particular page, what I'm going to do is navigation dot push async, and we want to go to a new page which is add or edit page. Sweet. And if we want to come back from that page, so what I want to do is on save click, I want to come back to the main screen. So I'm going to say that on click event, create a new event, and on click I'm going to say navigation dot pop async. Pop async. Sweet. Let's run this and see if this works. Okay, so when I click on this add button, it's going to the new page that we have added, which is taking employee name and the designation. And when I click on save, it's going back to the main page. Sweet. So that's working. So what we need to do now is we need to take this information, and when we click on save, we'll have to send this information back to our main screen and add that employee into our screen. So first what we need to do is we need to bind our controls to an object. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to a view model and say that, okay, I need to create a new property of employee. And instead of creating employee name and designation fields, what I'm doing is I'm using this model here, employee model, which already has employee name and designation fields into it. So I'm just reusing that model. And at the constructor, what I'm doing here is constructor, I'm initializing that employee. Nice. And if I want to bind this employee to my screen, so what I'll do here is I'm going to say text binding employee with employee name. Nice. And same I'll do with designation. Yeah. And say that it's a designation field. Sweet. So now that we have bound our controls to this employee, what we'll need to do is we'll need to get that employee to send to our main page. So to get that employee, I'm going to say employee, and we can get it from our view model, and we can get the view model from the binding context, and we can get our employee from here. Awesome. Now that we have our employee, we now know, okay, we found our employee and we have this employee, we'll have to send this employee. So let's check out this function. When I open this function, I see there are only two overloads. The first overload doesn't take any parameter, and the second one takes if it's animated. It doesn't really take an object as parameter to send it back to the main screen. Let's look at our hierarchy navigations here. So when you're pushing a screen on top of your main screen, we know which screen you are pushing to, so we can send our object to the screen. But when we are popping the screen, that means you're going back to the main screen, we don't really know which main screen this is, so it doesn't really know which screen to go to send the object. So how do we pass this object to our main screen? To do that, Xamarin Forms provides this MessagingCenter utility. The way MessagingCenter works is it works with two entities. One, publisher, and second is subscriber. So publisher can publish a message and subscriber will receive that message. And the interesting thing is you can pass object with your message. That's awesome. So how does it work? What I'm going to do here is, this is kind of tricky, so stay with me. I'm going to say MessagingCenter send who's sending the message. So if you see the parameters here, it's asking some parameters. Who is sending the message? And what's the message and what arguments you want to pass. I'm going to say this page is the sender, and we want to say the message is add or edit employee, and the argument that we want to pass is the employee. Sweet. So I'm going to close this because this doesn't really do anything. Now that we're able to send our message, the publisher is able to send the message, we need to create a subscriber. And I want to subscribe to this message in my employees view model. Wherever I'm loading my employees, I want to subscribe to my message here. You can subscribe to your message anywhere, but I have access to employees of the list here. That's why I'm subscribing the message here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to say MessagingCenter. Okay, we would like to subscribe a message, and let's look at the parameters here. It's asking who's the subscriber, what's the message, and what do you want to do after the message has been subscribed. So I'm going to say, okay, this class is the subscriber, the message is the same message, and what I want to do is I want to call a function here, which we will call in a little bit. I want to call this function here. Okay, but so we can pass, how do we receive the object which has been sent in our message? To do that, we'll have to tell our subscriber who's the sender. The sender is add or edit employee page, and what it's sending an employee. Sweet. And we can receive that in this function here. We can say receive as a page and employee as parameter. Awesome. Now what we can do with this is we can say that, okay, we received the employee in our message which we are subscribing, and I would like to add that employee into my employees. Let's see, add into employees. Sweet. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some debuggers here. So that we have better understanding how it works. Let's run this. Awesome. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on add here, and I want to add Steve Jobs as my employee, and he's CEO. When I click on save, you can see that the new employee is coming here, which is Steve Jobs, and he's the CEO of the company. And when I click, let's click on F10 here. So if you click on F10, it should come here, right? Let's see where it goes. When I click on, when I press F10, it goes to the message where we're subscribing to our add or edit message. Awesome. And this is where we're adding. We already have 6 employees. When I add, it becomes 7. So when I run this on page, you can see Steve Jobs added into our list. That's awesome. Sweet. So now you can see that Steve Jobs doesn't really have any image and he doesn't have an employee ID. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna on button click, I'm gonna say if the employee does not have an employee ID, then we would like to set a picture URL to image 7, which is JPEG. The image 7 is Steve Jobs picture. If you want to see Steve Jobs picture here, nice. And let's come back to subscribe, and here I would like to say that if the employee does not have employee ID, then we would like to, that means we should add that employee, but let's just set our employee ID to employees dot count plus 1, and we will add our employee then. Awesome. Let's run this and see if it looks pretty or not. Okay, so I'm gonna go again on this page. I'm gonna say Steve Jobs. He's the CEO of the company. Save. Let's get rid of this debugger and click on continue. Boom, there you go. Steve Jobs is added as another employee into our list. Awesome. So now what I want to do is, now Steve Jobs is the CEO of my company. I want to edit this person's role, saying that okay, you can't have two CEOs in the company. I want to change this CEO into director. So when I click on this edit button, it should go to the same page, add or edit employee, and it should load his information so that I can edit those. I edit his information, and when I click on save, it should come back with the updated information. To do that, we'll have to go back onto our employee list page here, and on this image I will have to recognize some textures, and I'm gonna say tab texture recognizer, and on tab click I want to call a new event, and I'm gonna call it as edit. Sweet. And when I go to this is the function which got created. I'm going to get rid of that, and when I come here, I want to go to navigation push async. I want to go to the same page, which is add or edit employee page. And so now that we know how we can click on the edit button and then it will go to the page, but we'll have to send this employee with the page. We'll have to say that, okay, we would like to with this page should know what to load, right? So how do we get that employee? I'm gonna come back here on this page and say that, okay, the command parameter, I want to bind into employee ID. Sweet. And if you want to catch this employee ID, we can catch it to event arguments. But before, we can't just access this event argument and get the employee ID. We'll have to convert the event argument into tapped event arguments. So I'm gonna say tapped event argument, and please convert E into tapped event argument. And if you check, this E will this tapped event will have a parameter through which you can, that's the employee ID that you're passing from the ListView. Sweet. So let's get our employee. To get the employee, I'm gonna need employee ListView model, which I can get through binding context. And the list view, that list view model has employee, and I want to get employee which has the same employee ID, that we have tapped on. Tapped event argument parameter, but this parameter is an object. Let's convert that into an int, and we would like to get first. We would like to get first or default. Nice. Now that we can catch this employee into this. Awesome. There you go. Now we have employee that we tapped on, and we would like to pass this employee to this add or edit page. I'm gonna just pass this employee here. This is not gonna work because our constructor doesn't really take any parameters, so I'm gonna say employee. It's a nullable parameter and pass it. Sweet. So what we have done here is we have tapped. When we tap on our list item, we are getting parameter of that tapped list item, which is the employee ID because I bound it, and we are getting employee from the employee list, and that employee object I'm passing to add or edit employee so that I can load that employee information on the screen. To load that information on the screen, what I will have to do is add our employee. I'm getting the employee here. So after initializing, I'm going to see if the employee, whenever you come to this page, and if the employee is not null, then what we need to do is we'll have to update our view model, and view model will have to update. I'm going to say add and view, and we will have to get it from the binding context again. Binding context. Hopefully I'll get it this time. Binding, there you go. And then we'll need to update our employee with the employee that we have passed. Awesome. I'm gonna put a debugger here for fun, and let's run this and see if this works or not. Awesome. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to update this person's designation. So I'm going to click on this edit icon here, and when I click on it, it's coming onto this page with the employee that I want to update, and it should load the information on the screen, right? But no, it's not loading it. The reason why it's not uploading it's the MVVM concept. We already talked about this in one of our videos. So what we need to do is we need to tell our UI to update itself whenever the view model gets updated. To do that, I'm going to steal some of my code from my previous demos. I'm going to copy this and say that, okay, you need to have this, and you'll have to implement that interface, and we'll need to copy this function too. And whenever the employee gets updated, private employee, and employee gets updated, then we'll have to call the on property changed event. So to get, I'm gonna say return private employee, and if you want to set, you'll have to set the private employee to the value, and I'm gonna call it on property changed event here. Sweet. Let's run this and see if this works or not. Boom, there you go. So when I click on this edit button, now when I go to the add or edit page, it should able to load my information here. So when I click on it, you can see our employees coming here. I'm gonna get rid of this debugger here, and when I click on continue, boom, there you go. Now I can see the information getting loaded in my page here. There you go. Awesome. So when I make changes into this person, saying that okay, this person is director now, when I click on save, it should come back to the main page and update the information of this person. So how do we do that? So for that, I will have to go back to my button click, and in button click I'm passing the same employee, and I'm passing the same employee in the messaging center, and we'll have to go to employee view model. This is where we are receiving the final employee which is updated, and in this time our employee ID won't be 0 because we're trying to update an existing employee. So we'll go into else block here, and I'm gonna copy paste some piece of code here. Copy this and paste it here. This code is pretty simple. We have gone through this code in our previous demos, and I'm gonna put this project on GitHub so you can copy paste this code, or download and see how it works. So what I'm doing in this piece of code is I'm just getting the employee which has been sent from the previous screen, and I'm replacing the old employee with the new employee which has been sent. Sweet. So let's run this and see if this works or not. Nice. I'm gonna click on this edit button and change direct to director. He's not a CEO anymore. And when I click on save, boom, you can see that this person is director now. Now that we can add and edit, let's just delete this person, because we already have a director. We don't need this person anymore. I want to add this person. So when I click on this button, it should get rid of this. The remove code is pretty simple. We'll have to go back to our employee list page here, and I'm gonna copy paste the same piece of code here. Same piece of code, and instead of editing, I want to remove, and when I click on remove, I'm gonna copy the same code. Instead of going to add or edit page, I just want to get rid of this employee. So we already have the employee from the tapped event, and what we want to do here is from this employee, remove the employee that we have tapped. Cool. So let's run this if this works. Okay, so we don't need this person anymore because this person is going to be the next director. So boom, there you go, we got rid of it. And I want to edit this person to director. Nice, this person is director now. And we want to add Steve Jobs as the CEO of the company. And when I click on save, boom, there you go. We have Steve Jobs as CEO. So this is how you can add, edit, and remove custom cells from ListView. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you. And this code is there on GitHub. I'm gonna put the link in the video description. Yeah, let me know how it goes. This is Fahad. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.